Metal guitar players are just like sports fans. As soon as there's a rumor of a big player changing brands, everybody just loses marbles. Hey YouTube, my name is Sven. Welcome to the Metal Foundry. Before I start this video, I want to give a quick shout out to my buddy and fellow guitar player Gudrun for sending me this news last weekend. I believe it was on Sunday that he sent me this picture over here. And I asked if it was April Fool's, and apparently that was not the case. He told me that it was Mick Thomson's wife that had posted this picture on Instagram, and later on he sent more pictures to me, like screenshots from Omega Mike's profile with the whole ESP collection backstage in Japan. And then I said the following words that I'm probably going to regret, but I'm going to tell them anyway. Metal guitar players are just like sports fans. As soon as there's a rumor of a big player changing brands, everybody just loses marbles. A couple of days later, it seems I was not mistaken, because the internet just exploded. You know, like lots of videos were popping up of our colleague YouTubers as well, all speculating about Mick Thomson changing brands and why he's going to ESP, and ESP snubbed him away from Jackson, or Jackson dropped him, or he dropped Jackson, or whatever. This happens every time when there's a big move or a rumor of one big move. You know, look what happened to Dave Mustaine. Look what happened to the rumor of Kirk Hammett from Metallica going to Gibson and leaving ESP. You know, and don't get me wrong, this is not criticism. This is just a statement. It makes for interesting content, and it also makes for topics for discussion, and makes speculations just go completely wild. You know, and there are numerous reasons why players could change sides or could change brands. You know, it could be either their contract is being cancelled, or they're not happy with the deal anymore, or their contract just ended. It could be that sales of their signature guitars were disappointing. It could be that their relationship with the brand changed as well, because people buy from people in the end. There's just people interactions. And unless Mick addresses this in some kind of interview, my guess is we will never really know why he changed brands, or unless somebody slips the news or whatever. Also fun to see is, as soon as this happened, there's also a second form of speculation that happens, and it's speculation on the market. Look what happened when Dave Mustaine went to Gibson and left Dean Guitars. All of a sudden, people were selling either their Dean guitars at a ridiculously high price. Some were selling them at a very fair price. And I've also seen ads like signature model, very rare, not available anymore, nowhere, never. And some of them, like this guy, like this particular guy, ask a fair price, and others go just completely bananas. I want to take advantage of it. I want to bank on the real fans' money, you know, sex recording studios. Personally, I don't really understand the panic. You know, I a big fan of ESP guitars. I play with ESP guitars also because of Metallica. That's what I said in one of my previous videos. And it would be a total hypocrite to say if that was not the case. Of course, if James would leave ESP, and if James would leave ESP to go to Gibson, it would be an end of an era. Maybe I could be a bit bummed. I'm not really sure. Unless that happens, I will not be able to tell you how I would feel about it. And also, it doesn't really matter, you know, because that would not make ESP a bad brand for that matter, or that would not make Gibson a better brand than ESP, just personal preference. And the fact that Mick is going to ESP doesn't make ESP much better than Jackson, just for that single reason, because that's just what he wants to do. If one guitar player goes to a different brand, it doesn't really say a lot about a brand, in my opinion. If you like playing Gibson, just continue playing Gibson. If you like playing Fender, just continue playing Fender. For all I care. I mean, just go ahead. It's your money. It's your way of playing. It's your music. And who am I to tell you that your brand that you're playing with is shitty? And in the end, it's always business. You know, it could be that he got a better deal with ESP. It could be that ESP always was the holy grail for Mick, and he always wanted to play with that brand. Or it could just be that they just went to see him and they say, hey, got something good for you. I have an offer you can't refuse. And that's just speculation as well from my end. But what we could see happen though now, if he's with ESP officially and the statement gets out there, yeah, I could perfectly see ESP coming out with some signature guitars from Mick Thomson, either an ESP model, an E2 model, or he could go like Hetfield and Hanneman to have a complete range as ESP as well as an LTD. That would be totally awesome, especially for the younger fans who cannot really afford a real ESP or big ESP because those prices are just absolutely crazy. Even though we can see that LTD signature models are also getting quite expensive. And that all being said, the fact that Mick debuted his ESP guitars while playing in Japan, the motherland of ESP guitars, and that is very symbolic and it's very cool if you ask me. But what is your take on this? Do you really care what instrument and what brand your favorite guitar player plays? Would you drop a certain brand that you've enjoyed playing for years if your favorite guitar player is going to a different brand? Let me know that one in the comment section and let's start a nice discussion about it. And that is all for me this week. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you like the content I'm creating on this channel and you want to help me grow my channel, please subscribe and click the notification bell to be notified whenever I upload a new video, which will be every single week. My name is Sven, you've been watching The Metal Foundry, and I see you in a future video. Bye.